Well, good morning, friends. I hope you're doing all right. I know I'm doing all right. Just making the final preparations. As we are live on stream, and it is 6:30 a.m. where we're at. Isn't that lovely? I think it's pretty nice. Let's make sure that I don't tumble off a rock. And let's see where we are. Oh, a nice outline against the darkness. And it seems the sound's working fine. You can't see me all that well, but in a few minutes you'll be able to, because the sun's going to rise and keep rising. The Chill Gamer, good morning. I think I've seen you on the channel before, is that correct? I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Thanks for dropping by. And I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world this morning, or at least this morning for me at 6:30. I woke up at 5. I went to the gym, did some light workout, Stairmaster, some mobility, and now we're here and we are on the stream. I've never been here before? Oh, alright. A familiar name, but maybe someone else with a name Gamer. Well, I appreciate you dropping by and saying hello. And I hope you're doing well where you are in the world, as are the rest of the people who are watching. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Toby. I am 41 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to sleep between 7 and 9 hours in the night. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat around 2,200 calories in a day. Not too much more, not too much less. I try to eat a lot of greens and vegetables because I think there's a lot of good nutrients in there that help keep me healthy and fit overall. And I'm mindful of my protein intake versus my strength and muscle growth goals. Like I said, I'm 41 years old, so I maybe have a different set of goals than you might think. And I better not drop my phone here on the rocks or I'm going to have a problem. Let's see, need to be able to keep an eye on the chat. How's life going for me? Life's going pretty well for me, actually. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time for different reasons, and I talk about those reasons actually here on the channel. Besides those three things, besides those two things, I also work out. I show up for strength training. I show up for conditioning training. I show up for endurance training. I show up for strength conditioning training, HIIT training, mobility, and generally I try to live an active life and try to stay fit. And by the way, what about you? Because I'm going to be talking a lot about me, but I hope you're doing well as well. Besides that, I also try to spend time with people I love and care about, do things that I enjoy, and generally try to live a stress-free life. As you can see here, this is not my normal background. Usually I work out and stream from my kitchen, but we're on holiday right now. I'm on a working holiday. It means I'm working a couple of the days, and then the second week I'm going to be off. So today's technically a working day for me, but I think there are worse places for me to sit down with my laptop and write some emails, create presentations and trainings, and make some phone calls. I'd say. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, capable, and competent for whatever life throws at me. And we might all know that life can throw a lot at us. And I found that being physically fit, emotionally fit, mentally fit, financially fit, relationship fit, that's one way to put it, community fit, is has helped me deal with all of the challenges in life, and those are some of the things that I would like to talk about here to help shed a light when people ask me how I'm doing, and I say, oh, I'm doing pretty good actually. There's a good reason. There's a good reason for that. And today specifically we're going to talk about health goals and enjoying life, because like I said, I am on holiday and that is a current topic, right? Because there is a need for me to try to stay healthy as much as there is a need for me to try to stay um, have fun while we're going. The Chill Gamer, thanks for dropping by, and I appreciate you dropping by and having such a fun conversation this morning on your way to wherever you're going to go. Um, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that balance between having health goals and trying to stay healthy and fit as a matter of daily routine versus, all of the pleasures and joys that life have to offer, because that's a double-edged sword. I think we need to be more conscious of, especially in today's day and age. Um, I also always like to say that we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today that's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow, after all. So a bit of kindness probably is going to go a long way. And there are enough people who would like to put us down. Don't forget that, ever. There are really a lot of people out there who would rather see you fail than watch themselves succeed. Um, so we lift ourselves up, all right? We help ourselves, and here we can also help each other in the conversation. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work, friends. And a part of the work for me is to host this stream and to have a conversation. Usually I'd be doing my workout, one of my routines, but a couple of things. First of all, I'm not at home, so I can't go into the facilities gym here and then drag all of their equipment out and then drag it back. Um, I don't think the hotel would be too happy about that, and I also don't feel like dragging stuff up and down these cliffs. So I could do some body weight stuff, but it is rather fresh. There's a hard floor here, and I don't even have an exercise yoga mat. Plus it's slanted at an angle, so it's not the most ideal spot for that kind of a workout. However, we did discuss yesterday that it might be a nice spot to go for a morning swim at sunrise. But we can consider that. Any of the other days, I think the water is quite chilly. But hey, let's see where we end up and what we end up with. We're going to be here for a while. So usually I'd be in my kitchen doing my workouts. Now we're here. I finished my workout this morning. Haven't had my coffee yet. I thought about bringing a cup of coffee up, but then I figured by the time I'd set up the camera and all of the gear, the coffee would have been cold, so it would have more or less defeated the purpose, because I also don't have a thermos. And we talked about adapting to a new environment yesterday, so we're going to do things slightly different for a few weeks. And I think sometimes changing up a rhythm is good. In fact, when it comes to working out and pursuing health goals and fitness goals, probably consistency is good, but also once in a while doing different things for a week or two is going to be very good and helpful in terms of keeping us on track and also giving our body different kind of stimulus and impulse to keep growing and adapting and staying fit and healthy, given what we're trying to accomplish. But I think that's a topic for a different video. So from here, right, there's many different things that I want to talk about health and fitness, but I think it's also important to frame the conversation. And I can just say also, by being on holidays and walking around, on the beach. And around here, you see people who are enjoying life. You see people who are um, out and about with their families doing things. And I have all of these statistics in mind that I cannot escape. So for my home country, which is the Netherlands, which is not here, right? More than 50% of adults is overweight, and what is it, like 12 or 15% of the adults are obese. Um, that is noticeable when you look around in a place like this, or walking around a holiday resort or the beaches. You can see um, that there is a majority of the people who, at least physically, do not um, look lean. And I want to say that, and it's important to frame this properly, right? Because you can be slightly overweight and be incredibly healthy. You can even be obese and be healthy. Apparently, I read about that and was trying to understand that phenomenon the other day. Um, but on the other hand, that health is then a function of a very active lifestyle, right? Of activity, of keeping the system working. And there seems to be mounting evidence that movement and activity are key in keeping you healthy up until a certain age, because it also looks like, and this is commonsensical, but it is maybe not fact. Obviously, as we grow older, it does become harder. I've talked about deterioration being inevitable, to keep up with a healthy lifestyle, to keep up with an active lifestyle. And then if we're already overweight, we start to move less, we start to consume more, we put on more weight, and our level of health begins to change and deteriorate, right? So there are reasons not to be super concerned, but to want to keep an eye on and monitor that, and also understand what baseline healthy means for us and what the implications of lifestyle choices are in terms of, and it's easy to pick on how we look because that's the easiest thing to identify. Um, but it does not mean that if we are overweight, we are unhealthy. It just means we do increase certain risks of developing diseases and all-cause mortality over time. And having those statistics in mind, because it is something that I care about, something that I'm interested in having a conversation about, is um, just all the more concerning. And I don't think we even really realize or notice. We notice when someone is incredibly fit, like in the extreme. We notice when someone is um, obese. We can see that, right? But the in between, especially around the, well, am I overweight or not? Am I slightly underweight or not? That's a very gray area. It's a difficult one um, to keep an eye on, and to also intuitively understand, because our weight fluctuates over time. But generally the trend line will be that if we're overweight, we're going to keep putting on a little bit of weight over time, because we have a lot of habits that sustain that level of body weight and body fat, and it's actually a lot harder to go back the other way. Believe me, I've lost 25 kilos in my lifetime over the course of 2 years. Um, I don't ever want to have to do that again. Um, Honestly, I would rather put in the work and try to stay where I'm at right now. But so, why am I talking about those statistics? I'm talking about those statistics because I have a couple of big picture goals, right? And the environment I live in influences my strategies and tactics to actually accomplish those goals. So the first big goal is that I understand that my life expectancy is increasing, um, and over time it is expected that We might get older and older. I think 90 years is within reach, barring any kind of genetic defects or tragedies or something happening to me that is going to um, stop me from reaching that age. There are lifestyle choices that I can make that will keep me healthy and active and able and self-sufficient and discomfort and disease free, that will keep me strong and capable throughout life. And that includes minding my sleep, minding what I eat, minding how much I move, working on my relationships, working on my sense of contribution to the communities that I'm a part of. Um, so being mindful of those aspects of my life is one of the goals, feed into the goal of being free from discomfort and disease for as long as I can, staying capable for as long as I can, staying active for as long as I can in this life. And I'm 41. If I'm going to be 90, that means we're not even halfway. And I think that's important to realize. I have more life ahead of me than I have behind me. Okay. And sometimes people think, well, we're 35, we're halfway, or we're 40, we're halfway. I disagree. And I see people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, probably with extremely good genetics, but also with healthy lifestyles, who are living the kind of life that I think, if I would be able to turn 80 or 90 and be able to do those things, I would be incredibly um, happy and content with myself. Okay? So let's keep that in mind. The second goal is that I'm the father of two boys. Hey, look, there's the sunrise, and there's the light, and isn't that wonderful? 6:44 a.m. I'm the father of two boys, happily married. I have a career. I have ambitions, things that I want to do, creating stories on this channel. There's a podcast that I want to make. I love creative writing and telling stories. So there are things that I would like to do, and I need the energy and the stamina to be able to do those things. And I would like to set a good example for my children. I would like to show them what an active life is, what health is, give them the habits that will keep them healthy for a lifetime, help them understand the challenges, the environment they are growing up in and living in, and the challenges that environment brings with it in terms of health, disease, convenience. Um, I think the world's a wonderful place, don't get me wrong, but I think the environment we've created for ourselves is not conducive to keeping us healthy and fit, to enjoy all of the things that the world and life has to offer. And I think we're on a very clear path, both as a society, globally, but also individually, to actually staying alive, but dealing with a lot of discomfort um, and disease, medication, um, incapacity throughout our life because of the way we're living life through our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think I would hope that they would see the alternative and make the choice, but in the end, it's their choice to aspire to live long and healthy lives, and to be fit and capable and make the most of it, just like I am trying to do. There are no guarantees, but I'm pretty sure that I am going to be, if I keep doing the things that I'm doing, that I'm going to be able to run up and down the stairs here at this resort for the next 40 years and really enjoy it, right? So there's some food for thoughts. Poor Man's Gym, thanks for dropping by. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Um, it is, isn't it? I think this is one of my favorite spots in the world. And I think it's also a nice time to be here at sunrise. There's a bay right around here with a big beach, and around the cliffs there's also a little bay with another beach, which is where I started this leg of my fitness journey 2 years ago, 39. So it's nice to be back 2 years later, being fitter and healthier than ever, and to be able to have this conversation. Having to get on here. I should be sleeping now. Oh boy. Hey buddy, just put the phone down, listen to my voice, and I think I'll drone you to sleep together with the sound of the seagulls and the waves lapping the shore slowly but surely. What do you think? That I understand that, and that is not a pleasant situation to be in. I hope you're doing well overall, despite that condition. Yeah. All right. Well, I will promise to keep talking for the next 10 minutes. Anyway. All right. So, the two goals, right? Staying disease-free, discomfort-free, active for as long as I can, setting a good example for my children, hoping to inspire them to live an active life and to be mindful of what health is in the context that they live in. We're going to talk a bit more about that context in a moment. And that translates down to one major goal for the day and one outcome for the day. The major goal is to show up for 30 minutes and to do any kind of exercise. All right, that's why I wake up at 5, turn on the stream, and I usually do my exercise at home. We have the gym over there. I stand on a Stairmaster. I don't think that's going to be an incredibly interesting stream, but I might stream it anyway. But there's also loud music, which means copyrights and whatever. So I won't want to get into any kind of trouble with the channel because of the live music that's playing. So that is just catching up on your messages. Had a rough week of sleep last week. I hope the sleeping improves. You take care. Getting a good sleeping rhythm is difficult. If you don't know, check out Matt Walker. He talks a lot about sleep, and I think there might be at least some information there, though I doubt that will solve the root cause of it. But knowing you're going to figure that out in time, and keep checking in. Let me know how you're doing. All right, you take care of yourself, friend, and be well, and sleep well. So, what were we talking about? Yeah, the stream in the gym. There's loud music there, so I don't want to stream that. I'd rather come out here and have a fun conversation at the start of the day. But I show up and I do those 30 minutes of exercise, right? That's the start of the day. But then that doesn't negate the risk of, for example, sarcopenia, because my job, as I said before, is actually sitting behind a desk, writing emails, making phone calls, creating presentations. I get up, I move around. Maybe one of the reasons that I take the stairs at work is because I've realized that I sit a lot, but these microbursts of activity might actually help offset some of the negative effects of all of that sitting. But we're not generally active, so I try to be active throughout the day. It is easy for me to reach 200% of activity according to my activity tracker here on holiday, because we go out for walks, we're on the playground, we're playing football, we're at the beach, we're digging, we're dragging the kids around, lifting them up when they want to be carried, pushing the pram, running places, playing, having fun, right? So naturally, your activity increases, and guess what? You start to feel really good about all those kinds of activities, right? Yesterday we were tossing the ball around. They're getting to the age where we can play football and ball toss, and you can also see that they love running and jumping and climbing. So finding places where they can do all of that just is important. But it's not so easy to reach that level of activity. It's not so easy to reach that level of activity on a regular working day in the office, right? You need to be very conscious about that, building it in, taking that extra walk around the block, going for a walking meeting in the middle of the day, maybe two at the beginning, at the end of the day, taking the stairs, standing and sitting, going into the gym just for 5 or 10 minutes and doing some pull-ups and some squats and some push-ups. Just building those moments into the flow of the day if at all possible. But I also have days where I'm so focused on a presentation, I sit and I start working, I'm creating a story that I want to tell, and 5 hours pass and I've been completely zoned in on the work that I've been doing. This happens, that's completely fine. But that is also means that I've been sitting for 5 hours, and maybe once in a while that's fine, but if that happens every day, boy, do I start to feel sluggish and bad. Right? So there's an interplay between how much we use our body and the systems we have for activity and how good we feel. And I think the current way we're living, we are erring towards not utilizing our body well enough, which means that it starts to rebel against the way we're living, which means that we start to feel worse and worse and worse, and we don't understand why. And there's so much convenience around us that we start to eat more, drink more, distract ourselves more, because there's nothing inherently fun about being on the Stairmaster for 30 minutes without headphones, without distraction. We'll talk about distraction-free training another time. But there is a sense of inner peace and utility in the motions of it. There is a sense of purpose to it. There is a sense of my body actually waking up to the demand being put on it and saying, oh, okay, I think we can deal with this. Maybe we do need to grow a bit stronger. And those are the systems that I would like to activate in my body, in my efforts to stay fit and healthy and capable for life. All right. Hey, Jonathan, good morning. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. We haven't spoken in a while. I think you were on holiday first, now I'm on holiday. For anyone who's thinking about building a YouTube channel, dropping by on Jonathan's channel is definitely going to give you some good tips and some good advice on how to pursue a career in YouTube. And Geese88, thanks for dropping by. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. And I hope life is treating you well where you're at. My back is getting better. I did some body weight exercises the other day, however, and one of them, I didn't tweak my back, but you know this feeling that you can tell that you've used muscles that you haven't used for a while? So my body was telling me that we can do this, but we still need to be careful about doing this because it doesn't feel entirely right yet. So I'm walking a fine line between keeping my back healthy and trying to stay fit and healthy or on track with my goals, and how I'm going to do that. Of course, Jonathan, we need to catch up. If you want to have a phone call or VC, send me a message and we can catch up this week. I think I'll have some time in the next 3 days for sure. All right, so how do we balance, our health goals with pleasure, in this case, enjoying the holidays? And I think it's important to take a rather bigger picture approach to this than well, I'm going on holiday and I need to balance, what I'm going to do with my time and with my life to stay healthy. Health and fitness should be a standard part of our routines. And that's the answer. I can stop the stream now. No, I'm joking. That's a bit trite. I knew you were going to ask that, Geese. So I hope my answer, I answered that. Getting better. bit by bit, slowly. Um, um, and taking it easy still, doing a lot of cardio, but I did some pull-ups, push-ups, squats the other day. So we're getting um, we're getting better and better, but I still need to be mindful of how my back's functioning. So like I said, health and fitness just need to be a part of our routine. It is not that I do not enjoy the things that I do to stay fit and healthy. In fact, quite the opposite, right? The fact of the matter is that I enjoy being active, that I enjoy exercising, that I enjoy swinging and lifting kettlebells, that I enjoy the sense of strength, power, conditioning that that gives me. And that in and of itself is a part of the routine of life, is to keep my body challenged and active and healthy in different ways. Um, I know it doesn't really feel like it at the 16th floor of the building when I'm on my way up. I've got 2 more minutes of climbing stairs to go. But the net result of those 5 minutes twice a day is that I feel pretty good about myself. And it's a part of my routine to stay fit and healthy. So I enjoy the process of being active and staying fit and healthy for life. And I'm sorry if this is maybe uh, not the answer you were hoping for. Um, um, uh, oh, that's amazing. Have fun in Paris and let us know how it was. Um, well, there you go. If you're going to be able to bring her along to Paris, that's going to be fun. That's going to be quite an experience. I think the French Open is a very nice. Roland Garros is a very nice tournament to play in. So for me, eating healthy, getting sufficient sleep, being active, working out, um, spending time with people I love and care about, these are all fun things to do um, because I enjoy them in the moment, but I also enjoy the general effect that they are having or that they will have on my general health and fitness. And I guess that's the thing that we need to be aware of, that we maybe can reconsider our position on, is that, okay, I go to the gym, then I'm being healthy, and then I get to do all of the things that I want to do, whether they're healthy or not, because that's what life is all about. And then I go back to the gym to be healthy for 30 to 60 minutes. And there's kind of like this pendulum that swings between I'm working on my health, I'm living life. I'm working on my health, I'm living life. I've been there. I understand where that might come from, right? But I think that belies the problem and the challenge that we face. And that is that overall in society, overall in the environment we're in, we are faced with the challenge that there is too much food, there's too little opportunity to be active, there are a lot of pollutants in the air, in the water, in the foods, there's too much convenience and there are too much demands and distractions in the environment for us to actually realize what we are capable of doing and how we can use our bodies and minds in ways that satisfy ourselves and that speak to our needs to be active, to be healthy, to be creative, to contribute, to build, to make, to enjoy, to relax, as a general part of our routine. So rather than seeing, this dichotomy in my holidays, right? I am being healthy at 5 in the morning, and then I'm going to drink beer and eat all of this junk food throughout the day. That is going to leave me, by the way, feeling lethargic, slow, heavy, right? Tired. And I'm going to be sleeping away my holidays in a hotel apartment, in a semi-comfortable bed, right? And I'm going to go out at night and do the same thing again. Um, that's not fun to me, right? And I've been out clubbing till sunrise many times. I've been to parties and done things. I actually um, kicked a habit of drinking alcohol, excessively drinking alcohol around 24, 25. And I would still go out and do those kinds of things and have a blast. But and if that is the stage of life that you're in, then go ahead, enjoy that. But I always found that vitalizing and energizing as well, to have been out with friends and to have seen the sun come up and to have had that party and that fun. That was also part of health and well-being, right? So health and well-being and health and fitness are a part of my routine, and the things that I do to stay fit and healthy are things that I do because I enjoy them. And I think that we do ourselves, we're not courteous to ourselves, and we do ourselves a disfavor by seeing health as something that we have to do so that we can go out and enjoy life. There's a lot of life that can be enjoyed that actually keeps us fit and healthy, which includes good food and good drinks, and fun times and excess, and relaxation, but not 365 days a year, not 24 hours in a day. I had 5 Oreos yesterday, right, with my coffee, and I enjoyed it, okay? I really did. No, the beer's behind. Yeah, okay. I am going deep. Well, maybe, but it's always good to hear that we're transitioning slightly. And I think life is about transitioning and about learning in different phases of our lives. I know you've made a couple of changes this year, um, um, to focus on our business and our dreams and our ambitions, is exactly what life is about. Oh, that's impressive, Geese. And I hope that that choice is serving you well in the goals that you're setting for yourself in terms of your health and fitness. So yeah, that's the summary of it. Basically, is that what I would like us to understand is that health and fitness is a daily routine as much as brushing our teeth, and eating 2 or 3 times a day might be, and maybe our commute might be in our day-to-day life. And if we can see what that would mean for ourselves over time and the choices we're making, it also makes it very easy for me to have a Bacardi and Coke with dinner one of the days that we're out eating and drinking, because generally, right, I don't have that much excess in alcohol in life. But if I then want to have a pizza with that, and we have French fries on the beach with mayonnaise and ketchup, it's all good, because it's a part of a bigger routine that is designed to just keep me healthy and fit over time, and that's filled with things that I enjoy and love doing. So yeah, that's it. That's what I've got for you. What I've got for you today. We'll find something else to talk about tomorrow. For those of you who drop by and are watching, my name is Toby. I'm 41 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat a lot of greens and vegetables because I think that they're tasty, and I think that there's a lot of good stuff in there that we need. And I try to eat sufficient protein to meet my strength and muscle building goals. I try to spend time with people I love and care about, do things that I enjoy, generally try to live a stress-free life, which I think is very possible over here. If you're interested in what I talk about, go ahead, check out my channel, check out my shorts. Not these shorts, but the short videos. Some long form videos. I'm working on one long form video while I am here actually. So we're going to be shooting that and then putting that out for you to watch as well. And it's a bird. Remember that we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness is going to go a long way. And there are enough people out there who want to put us down, so, let's lift ourselves up. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to leave you with this view for a few minutes, and then I'm going to pack up, and we will catch up soon. Take care, friends.